what's your main couple of takeaways from that?
Probably the biggest thing is our ability to hang in has improved. The game got away for us, with they kicked 4 goals in about 6 minutes at the start of the last quarter, and it's sort of like, wow, this has gone from an opportunity to be in the game and maybe have a chance to win to, we're hanging in there. So, and then you look back and we've had 5 weeks of pretty competitive footy, and you get caught up to say, geez, that's what we like, and we do. I'm not trying to say that, but we've got to become better than that, and that's about digging in and scrapping and all that. That's got to be the normal. That's not, we're happy to see it. That's got to be the normal, because to become the team that we want to become is around putting that forward and then cleaning up some of the detail that a little bit around our method, a little bit about some acts, contest work that we had a chance to win the ball. But that's the bit that you go, yep, like how we're going about it, but we can't just sit there and put our hand on our heart and say, well, that's us. Well, we've got to get better than that as well.
Rats, you touched on the competitive past 5 weeks. Now, the wins don't necessarily say you've made a big leap, but do you feel like internally that at the halfway point of the season, roughly, that you have taken a big step forward from a year ago, or not as far as you'd like to be?
I think so. The development of players as well, I think there is, and maybe the way we go about it, there's a bit of fine tuning. Like, some of our D50 exit and get the ball through, and how do we keep it in our end? It's 2 weeks in a row. Not so much the first half against GWS, but the second half against GWS. We 16 inside 50s, and then this week we have 36 or 38. It's not going to cut it. The great thing is we were pretty efficient when we went in, which is great. But we've still got a bit of work to do. But there's some growth, and that's the hardest bit of around footy clubs and teams is sometimes how do you measure success? From 1 week to the next, a block of 4 weeks, half a season, a whole season. How do you actually measure success? And because only one team wins it. But there's a lot of growth within the industry, and teams have, and players there. So we'll sort of go and do a half, sort of, it's a bit over halfway, but a half yearly review with the players on Monday and Tuesday, and have a look at what's our purpose moving forward for the second half of the year.
Tough question, but touching on success, has it been a success this year when we talk about that word?
I think there's elements of success. I don't think everything, when you win 2 games, you can't sit there and say it's been a success, but I think there's a fair bit of growth there. And the exposure that some of the individuals have had will help us moving forward. Yep.
Tackle count tonight, you're 28 down. Concerned about that?
Yeah. You're concerned about, and we'll do a bit of work on it, it was sort of around the contest. We weren't getting through the contest, Adam, and that was the difference between the two teams. If we fed back, they pressured us, and if they fed back, we just gave them too much time and space to use the footy. So I think there was a bit of a difference between the two teams as well. So we've got a bit of work to get through the contest and at that player to, lay those tackles and maybe stick a few too. I thought we coughed it up a little bit too.
Since the players are still upbeat about the way they're going about things because you're not getting that end result of a win, is the mood still pretty good in the group?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. There's they can see the little wins, and if you just look at the end result every game, you're going to get pretty flat. But there's been some growth, so I think the players are looking at where they can see and how they feel. There's really good communication. In the reviews around how we're going and what's it look like and how do we want to play, and so the education part's still there, and I think they can see what we're trying to do and how they're sort of implementing it game day. Now, sometimes we see it for 60 minutes, 80 minutes, but we're not seeing it for 120, and that's the bit that's letting us down.
Todd Goldstein, he started the year out of the side. Tristan Sherry was preferred to him, but he's putting together a pretty good season, and again, he's taken it up to the guy a lot of people think is the All-Australian ruckman this year. Where does that sit with Tristan sort of getting back to fitness now? Are you willing to play both of them? Is it going to be one in, one out sort of situation? What are the thoughts of this?
Oh, we'll just wait. You know, Tristan has got, that's his first game. He was on reduced minutes. We've got a bye. When's he going to be ready? He might take another 3 or 4 weeks. So that'd be a good conversation to have in a month. Where does it sit? I thought Goldie started fantastic. I think he took 3 or 4 marks in the D50, really held up well. But I think the longer the game went, I think English got right on top and became one of the most dominant players on the ground. So I think he started the game well, but I thought English, Tim got a hold of him towards the end.
What's going to be the area of focus during the bye? What are you going to assess, I guess, the most out of the bye coming back into the second half of the season?
Well, it's really to work out our purpose as a team, and I think they're good open conversations around what do we want to get out of the last 8 or 9 weeks. You know, because we've got a lot to gain and a lot to lose in the next 8 or 9 weeks, and how we go about it. So I think as a football team, we need to make sure that we're really clear with that, and when they turn up each day, they know what we're trying to accomplish as a group, and what they have to do individually to help and support that. So we'll nut that out. You know, Ray McLean works with us leading teams, so he'll facilitate that and go through that with the group. Thank you, everyone.